What's up everyone, my name is RoyaleRebelle, and in this video I am talking about the one thing I wish behavior would change during DVD events. So I think we all know that when behavior rolls out in an event for Dead by Daylight, it's a pretty intense time for the game, whether that's just because players who don't play that often are trying to make the most of the limited time event, or everyone's just trying to max out on blood points. It really seems like people are trying to be on their A game. But people's playstyles isn't the point of this video, although I want to just note that I would totally appreciate never running into a tunneling nemesis again. I want to talk about getting items in the event. I think most of us know by now that there are generally two ways players collect items. There are the Survivor and Killer skins accessible by working through the event rift and collecting those items, plus whatever charms they throw in there. But then there's the additional collection of items that you get by interacting with the in-match event items. So like for anniversaries, that would be the mask. Well, for the most part, I don't have an issue with how things are set up. There is just one thing I really wish behavior would change. And that's giving killers and survivors the same conditions to be eligible for a mask. So right now how it's set up, it's different. For killers, it's pretty simple. You just have to interact with the invitation and that's it. Collect one invitation and you are guaranteed a random mask at the end of the match as long as you haven't already collected them all. For survivors, however, it is slightly different. In order to be eligible for a mask at the end of the event, you not only have to collect the mask, but you have to survive with charges on the invite until the exit gates are powered. Which might not seem like much, but remember how we already acknowledged that everyone's bringing their A game in these events? So if you've got players like using strats like camping and tunneling, that brings down the likelihood that at least one player isn't coming out with a mask. Now I feel like most people are going to hear this and think, well, why don't you just play killer then? And I don't think players should be forced into a role to get rewards set up in an event. Like, we're here to have fun and enjoy ourselves. Like, we shouldn't have to play roles that we don't want to play just to have a fair shot at getting the stuff for the event. I really think in general behavior should just do away with that condition altogether. I never understood why the developers made it so that killers don't have to get a kill or anything, or like do anything at all. Like they just have to interact with the item. Yet survivors have to make it through basically the entire match. I also think that this would have a bonus of like easing up the tensions that survivors tend to feel during events. Like I know a lot of players in general just hate being camped and tunneled under normal conditions, but it feels especially frustrating during events because you're trying to get those limited time items before they go away. I think overall this makes a lot of sense. Making the two sides have different reward conditions is just kind of weird. And this changes nothing for killers. Making it easier for survivors to get event rewards doesn't do anything to killers at all. They can still tunnel, they can still camp, they can still do whatever they want to their heart's delight. And like this sentiment that like killers go extra hard during events, this is far from new. Like this has existed for at least the past 3 years, if not the entire existence of special events in Dead by Daylight. It just feels like that the developers have been more focused on introducing new mechanics for events than worrying about problems within the player base. And don't get me wrong, I love the additions they've made to this year's event. I'm grateful for the fact they've made it easier to track which items you've already gotten and what you still have left to collect. I think the mechanics surrounding the invitations have really shook things up for the event and made matches a whole lot more fun because, I mean, it's not very often that survivors get to block vault points from killers. But this is just a small thought I wanted to share with you guys. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so I can bring you more Dead by Daylight content. And if you guys want to check me out while I'm live on Twitch, don't forget to follow me there so you can be notified of when I go live.